episode of Lunch with KP. And today I have three lovely ladies with me. They go by TL Properties. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hi guys, I'm Danny, 1/3 of the trifecta.
Hi guys, I'm Hanan, 2/3 of it.
And hi guys, I'm Christina, obviously the third.
All right, and today they're going to ask me a few questions. First, they are a couple of investors that I work with, so we have a relationship on that level. And so these answers may be different than any other answers I get from rookies.
Yeah, don't let him fool you.
Right.
Okay, so for starters, Kelley, I know that we were able to get a property, from a wholesaler, and my first question is, when do we or should we ever negotiate with wholesalers when purchasing a property?
You should always negotiate with wholesalers on every property because we already know that it's not their property. They have a contract on it, so we got to treat it like any other investment opportunity. You don't want to give them your best offer first when it comes to wholesaling, because who goes to say that they have an end buyer on it? They may not, but they'll let you know that. If they try to press you, just say your number and leave it alone. It's a wholesaler.
And just to follow up with that, being that Atlanta is such a hot market right now, and that you could lose out an opportunity in negotiating, maybe lower than what the wholesaler wants, still stick to that number, and if you lose out, you lose out, or?
I mean, it's a per property basis, but I would definitely negotiate on any offer that comes to my table, regardless of what city I'm in.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So, would you also think it wise for investors to negotiate with you your rate? Or does that change?
Of course.
Depending on the investor?
Everything is negotiable in real estate, whether it's contractors or wholesalers or homeowners. This is a numbers game, so we gotta adjust the numbers to make it fit for whatever we have going on.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, really good questions, and kind of shifting lanes just slightly. You mentioned contractors. So what's the best way to find good contractors, or what has worked for you in the past?
The best way is referrals. Like, if no one has referrals, then probably don't use it. Don't be there first. Like, don't break their flipping virginity when it comes to being a contractor, because a lot of people get burnt by not checking references or getting the right people to do the job. Like, so many people say they can do things and then they don't. They just talk a lot. You don't want the contractor that talk a lot. You want the contractor that show a lot. And if he can show you everything he's done, and you got people that vouch for him, then that's the best way to really find out. Yeah. Good questions so far. For the record, I do work with these ladies. We're doing a couple projects right now. So these questions are a little different. We had a waiter just now ask. That's why they nodded. They wasn't agreeing with me, but
Nope.
for the record.
Well, we also tend to ask a lot of questions, so this just allows us to ask the harder ones that we've been a little bit more nervous to ask on a regular basis.
I know you had a good one earlier about problems that investors have that they don't plan for. The most common one is probably after sheetrock, the finishes. Like a smart investor would start picking their finishes out before they get to sheetrock or after they already hit sheetrock. Just have it in standby so they can know when to adjust the budget based on their finishes. And now with the market the way it is, you better get what you need now. Like, you don't want to be waiting and then you waiting on tile from Italy or something and your house hung up for a month. So a lot of people don't plan the end game first. Like, we went out looking for tile today and we ain't even got sheetrock up. Reason being is we're going to tile up next week. Like, I mean, we're going to get what we can done now, so it don't slow anything else down. So a lot of investors don't plan for the finishes, and they don't plan for other incidentals like foundation problems or break-ins. Like, those three things can really set you back. especially in the larger city.
Speaking of break-ins, that's actually a good point. Do you recommend someone putting out a camera while they're building or rehabbing or whatever in your case?
Yeah, I recommend, they got solar power cameras now, security systems, so you don't need power to get them. You can order them off Amazon or a security company. But I recommend at least, like the house that we're working on now, we have the metal doors up, so we're going to leave those up until we get the security system installed. But I do recommend getting security systems. Like, regardless, this is an investment and you want to protect it.
And do you recommend purchasing gifts for your neighbors when you first get to a property?
She asked me because this is what they decided to do, go buy the neighbors cookies or flowers or something, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, just build that rapport with your neighbors. I mean, they'll respect you for bringing value to their house, and I mean, just make a great relationship with everyone around you so they can keep an eye out when you're not there.
And as the contractor, do you like to push the limit in terms of your investors' budget, or do you try to encourage them to stick within their budget?
Nah, most of my investors, I list their houses, so I'm not trying to make you spend all your money to get what I know will sell in that area. So I'm a little different than some contractors because they don't really know the market. They just want to work and they don't care about your budget. And me, on the other hand, I like to advise them what will work and what won't work at this price point. So you don't have to spend all this money if your house is going for $250,000. Now, $500,000 and up, yeah, you're gonna want to increase that finishes budget and the functionality of the layout of the home. So you just gotta find a GC like me and my partner Geno that knows the area that you're in and that they're working in, so they can advise you properly on what finishes sell or not.
So speaking of you and Geno and the work that you guys do as far as being able to pick out the contractors for like plumbing and electric, we know that there are things that we've had to, at least with this property in specific, pick out our own contractors. So the fence guys, the landscaper, what do you suggest or recommend when you're not completely satisfied with the end result of a contractor, or how do you handle it when it's the other way around?
It's easy. When you first do that with subs, give them money for material, but don't give them the rest of the money until the job is done satisfactorily, so you won't get burnt, because you may have to hire somebody else to come finish their problem. So that's what I recommend. Don't give all your money up front. If they want money up front, go with somebody else because they're broke and they're probably going to run off with your money.
Makes sense. And even going off of what you said earlier from referrals, we're actually interested in doing long distance investing as well. So how do we build those referrals? Let's say if we're looking at Milwaukee, for instance, in order to get those subs and to build that rapport.
Better Business Bureau and Angie's List and other reputable sites that actually do background checks and reference checks on these people work. I mean, they may cost a little more, but you get what you pay for in exchange. So that's what I recommend. Someone, not just hiring somebody that says they know how to do this. Don't do it. And never hire anybody that say they know how to do everything. Like, I never do that. If someone say, oh, I know how to do everything, I don't need you. Like, I don't need you to do everything, because if you say you know how to do everything, that means you know how to do everything half-assed, because you haven't focused on one thing to perfect. It's like, that's why surgeons get paid more than doctors, because they focus on one thing that they perfected. Like, you wouldn't want a regular doctor to do surgery on you. You want a surgeon that specializes in throat, nose, ears, or whatever you have surgery on. So find a specialist.
Well, being new investors, you know how eager we were to jump from one house to the next. So
Right.
what do you recommend for new investors in particular to slow down a little bit or think before they go ahead and purchase the next property?
Yeah, you gotta watch a lot of our videos on YouTube, because we made a lot of mistakes in the past, and that was because we were moving too quickly. So when I work with new investors, I like to tell them, like, just slow down. Let's figure out, because life is about problems and solutions. So everything that you're dealing with, if you handle one problem at a time, you're going to find a solution for all your problems. So if you got a leak in your attic, and you know it's coming from a boot around the plumbing, then you replace that and correct the next problem, which would be the moist over at sheetrock. You don't just worry about like, I got all this. No, just deal with one at a time, because at the end of the day, I tell this to a lot of people, the house that you're working on will probably outlive you. So don't give it too much of your time or energy, because it'll be here when you're not.
And honestly, that I think was one of the best advices that you did give us, because we were so excited to like get onto the next house, because we know that the market is super hot right now. So
Right.
I think like us slowing down and taking it one problem at a time
Mhm.
has been one of the best things,
Yeah.
you know, that we've
I mean,
done.
you're going to make more money that way. Real estate, you're not going down no time soon. So even if you guys don't do them about 2 more houses this year, you're going to do really well. I mean,
Oh no, we are going for 35.
like May right
that is
now.
our goal. You cannot stop
Okay,
3
cool.
very strong
All right. You're going to acquire 35 houses. How many you going to flip?
That's our goal.
We're getting
You
some
can buy
duplexes, multifamily, so
So you get
We'll buy
35
them all
doors.
One at a time, Kelley. One at a time.
All right. Let's do it. Yeah, those have been some great
what do
questions.
you like most about working with us?
I mean, you guys ask a lot of questions and you keep me on my toes. I appreciate that. I mean, it's like when you got a teacher that gives you pop quizzes, it kind of sharpens you. And that's what you guys do. When you ask me about something, I have to give it any thought, because I'm focused on so many things. It helps me like, damn, okay, this is what it is, and this is why it's like that. So I appreciate all the questions. I mean, a lot of people hit me up with questions. No question is dumb, but a lot of questions I've already answered. Not for you guys, but for those who don't know, just whatever question you got, just leave it in the comment below this video, and I'll try to answer it. But I don't mind answering questions. You're not finna not make me unlearn something because I gave you an answer. I already know the answer. So,
What, as far as like your vision goes, because I've seen some of the houses that you have remodeled, and I absolutely love like your style. How did you come about that vision and style?
every house I do, I want to do it different from the last house. And now we're trying to get into a larger price point with more spread as far as the budget and the money that we make on it. So it's stepping our game up, basically. Like the house that we're doing with you guys in Washington Park, like that house is going to be a modern farmhouse. I haven't done too many of those. So I'm excited about the way it comes out. And we want to get into more contemporary and more modern, but it's a step game. You can't jump from traditional 1920 house to 2021 contemporary. So you got to take the steps and make sure everything is right. And I take something from each job and apply it to the next one. So, that's all your question? Great.
for today.
Great. No more questions. Man, but you guys, give them your Instagram and social media stuff.
So we are at the Real Flip ATL, and my personal page is at TeenieSpy, TeenieSpy.
And my personal is at Hanan_Nana, HANAN_NANAH. Frontwards, backwards.
And I'm at Days of Danny, Days_of_Danny.
All right, I'll put everything in the comment section if you didn't hear them. In the caption. That way you can keep in touch with these guys and follow their process and watch them grow and watch them flip Atlanta for real. So again, I'm KP from the KP and GenoJ show. I thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.